North Bengal weather is most favorable for tea plantation. More than 450 tea gardens are spread across the district Darjeeling, Jalpaiguri, Coach Bihar. Many farmers switch to tea plantation from rice, sugarcane, etc. due to growing profit from tea. Small and medium-sized tea growers are selling tea leaves directly to tea factory who are processing it. Payment for plucking and selling of tea leaves are normally done on per kg basis. During our recent visit to North Bengal, we had an opportunity to visit a small sized tea factory, the Green Touch Tea Factory, and we could see the entire tea processing. It is located at Moinagudi. The owner of the factory, Mr. Rai, was very gentle, who welcomed us and instructed his factory manager to take us for a round across the factory. Manager Sri Sarkar had a friendly approach to us, who explained all steps followed in tea processing and the function of each machine. Tea factories receive the tea leaf supply from the garden owner or agents who bring them to factory by small trucks. It gets unloaded then. Earlier, only 2 leaves and a top bud used to get selected for tea processing, but nowadays buds even with more number of tea leaves also getting considered. The main aim is to increase production rate, and without supply of tea leaves, the factory cannot operate at its full capacity. Tea leaves has to reach to factory within 12 hours. First step of tea processing is withering. Unloaded tea leaves are getting shifted through a hanging conveyor with intermediate hooks. Nylon bags filled with tea leaves are transported from ground floor to first floor, where approximately 80 feet by 15 feet civil traps are installed with nets spread on its bed. Transported tea leaves are getting sprayed over nets throughout the trough. Air is blown from the bottom of these traps using big size fan as visible. Civil duct is constructed to guide the airflow up to the bottom of the trough. Tea leaves are maintained at this condition for approximately 16 to 20 hours to remove moisture from tea leaves up to 80%. After weathering, tea leaves are taken into a extruder kind of machine, which is also known as rotor vane, for crushing and tearing the tea leaves. Crushed leaves then passes through series of twin rollers with sharp teeth. 2 rollers run at a different speed, one at higher and other one at lower, to crush, tear and curling of tea leaves. The name CTC is nothing but crushing, tearing and curling of tea leaves. In this process, due to pressure and stresses over the tea leaves, it turns into a paste kind of thing, and the temperature is maintained at 35 degrees centigrade. Main idea is to take the juice out from the 2 tea leaves, which is known as polyphene. The next step of tea processing is oxidation or fermentation, when leaves are sprayed on open beds where humidity level of 80%, temperature 70 to 80 degree Fahrenheit is maintained. This is the most critical step of tea manufacturing. It is a bit of science and skill when the tea maker has to judge the optimum level at which to arrest the oxidation. It is the process ultimately determines the aroma and flavor of the tea. The process takes 3 to 4 hours. After fermentation, tea leaves enters into a dryer where moistures are getting reduced to 3.5%. Normally hot air flows from the bottom when oxidized tea is placed in perforated trays. Complete system vibrates to move dry tea towards the outlet, and then it comes into a conveyor belt to take it to shorter. In vibro shorter, various tea sizes are getting separated and collected in separate bag depending on their sizes. Tea are mostly sold in the market depending on the sizes. This factory supplies tea to major tea manufacturer for blending. Tea agents also purchase teas from this factory to sell it to open market. This factory doesn't do any packing or marketing of their tea product. There are plenty tea factory of such kind in Jalpaiguri area. However, we really enjoyed the factory visit, and thanks to Sri Sarkar for nicely explaining everything. Mr. Sarkar really took patience to be with us for visiting the entire factory. As a memento, we purchased teas from this factory and then we returned back to our homestay.